Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. This amendment suspends the provisions of H.R. 582 until the Government Accountability Office study is completed examining the impact of H.R. 582 on employment in geographic regions of the country that have a lower cost of living, such as rural areas where I live. The report to Congress would be issued within a year. GAO would examine regions with a median hourly wage of less than $18 an hour. If GAO would determine that the underlying bill will cause a reduction in employment of 200,000 or more jobs in these areas, the legislation will not go into effect. This amendment would ensure that the 107% minimum wage increase will not go into effect if it will cause significant job losses in regions of the country with lower costs of living as I live. Everyone here knows that the cost of living is not the same in every city, state, and community in the country, and everyone on this dais knows how much it costs to live back in your home district and how much it costs to live in Washington, D.C., at least part of the week, as we all do. My hometown of Johnson City, Tennessee, probably at the top end of the 1st congressional districts in terms of median income, but the cost of living is 96% more in Washington than it is where I live, and 117% more than someone who lives in Newport, Tennessee. If you look in San Francisco, probably $15 an hour is not the minimum wage. It should be more than that. The average one-bedroom apartment in San Francisco is $3,700 a month. $3,700 a month. Median price of a home, there's $1.4 million. Well, the median price of a home where I live, again, in the most affluent county in my district, is $148,000. And to mention, I just visited a TCAT, a Tennessee College of Applied Technology in Morristown, Tennessee, this Monday before I came back. 77% of those students who enter there graduate on time. 97% are placed in their specific line of work, and every single one of them graduate with zero debt. Just to give you one example, new businesses moved in. They're training welders there. The company is paying those welding students $16 an hour to go to school, to be hired after they're trained at $22 or $23 an hour. They're getting the skills that they need in our state to make a lot more than the minimum wage. And less skilled workers in entry-level jobs, Americans without a high school diploma or GED, and tipped workers would bear the brunt of the job losses, I believe, in my area. And let me just pass this along to you. In the recession, the Great Recession we just got over a few years ago, between 2010 and 2015, there are 3,100 counties in America. There were 167,000 new businesses formed during that 5-year period of time. 3,100 counties in America, 20 of them, 20, made up half of all the new business formations in this entire country. And almost 60% of counties, most of them rural, actually had a net business loss. So where I live, we're very sensitive to this. We can't lose any more businesses because we're losing our young people. And we owe it to American workers and small business owners to understand what the impact of a $15 minimum wage, and that's what this amendment really does. Under this amendment, if 200,000 jobs or more are lost in an area with lower costs of living because of the 107% increase in the minimum wage, then appropriately, the increases would not go in effect. And Congress can go back to enacting policies that will actually provide good-paying jobs for American workers. The legislation before us today is a calculated, politically motivated move, and I admit a good one, in the opposite direction of tangible benefits and far-reaching economic progress that every American in the community, as I just mentioned. The amendment will ensure that we're not harming our citizens in rural communities around the country by adopting a 107% wage increase in the federal minimum wage. And I urge my colleagues to support this amendment, and I yield back, Mr. Chairman.